RJ City, and I can see it's getting dark. So I've decided to read you yet another bedtime story. But this story takes place at the end of October. You may be familiar with the day. The name of the book is Halloween by Jerry Seinfeld, illustrated by James Bennett. And for those of you who don't know, Jerry Seinfeld was a comedian who had a TV show, and he used to make up a lot of words, and him and his friends used to use them the whole episode. And then, for some reason, he wrote a movie about bees. Nevertheless, let us begin Halloween by Jerry Seinfeld. Oh, look, there's Jerry. That's what you want to start off with. A nice adult man's face like that, surrounded by candy. That's a good look. I'm sure all you children are familiar about Halloween, but you're going to hear about a lot of minutiae in a humorous nature while reading this book. When you're a kid, you can eat amazing amounts of food. All I ate when I was a kid was candy. Just candy, candy, candy. And the only real clear thought I had as a kid was, get candy. Get candy. Get candy. See, that's him there. And now he's thinking about candy. It's the only thing on his mind. You like candy, kids? I'm sure you do. Jerry does. Family, friends, school, they were just obstacles in the way of getting more candy. See, now in his mind, his life is a football field. And his parents and school and his friends, they're all an obstacle to get. There's lifesavers there, and there's more candy at the end. That's very exciting. He's a lifesavers guy, although I really wouldn't consider lifesavers a candy. They're kind of an interstitial between a candy and a mint. Just a fruity mint. So the first time you hear the concept of Halloween when you're a kid, your brain can't even process the idea. You're like, what is this? What did you say? Someone's giving out candy? Who's giving out candy? Everyone we know is giving out candy? And then he would pause and people would laugh. But there he is. Look, see, he's realizing it. The joy of Halloween, which I'm sure you've all experienced. I gotta be a part of this. Take me with you. I'll do everything they want. I can wear that. I'll wear anything I have to wear. I'll do anything I have to do to get the candy from those fools who are stupidly giving it away. See? He's begging. He's begging. He'll do anything. And they're dressed up like ghosts. It is a very weird Halloween. But Jerry's simply making an observation about it in a humorous way. The first couple of years, I made my own costumes. Ghost, hobo, the worst. See, that's him. And we've all had bad Halloween costumes. A sheet. Even though nobody does that anymore, because if it gets pointy, there's a problem. Nobody does a hobo anymore either. It's not really a good look. Although this is more of a hobo clown. I would not suggest you be a ghost or a hobo clown anymore in today's society. I knew my destiny to one day get a real Superman Halloween costume from the store. You know the one. The cardboard box, the cellophane top, mask included in the set. Oh, baby! See? There he is. And we all know Superman, huh? And what kid doesn't want to be Superman? Well, unless you're a fan of Batman or perhaps The Flash or the Green Hornet or something. Remember the rubber band on the back of those masks? That was a quality item. Thinnest gray rubber band in the world. It was good for about 10 seconds before it snapped out of that cheap little staple they put in there. You go to the first house, trigger snap. It broke. I don't believe it. So he's wearing a cheap Halloween costume. Ask your parents how cheap their costumes are. You know what? No, if you go to the store and buy a Halloween costume, it's equally still as cheap. They haven't improved these at all, to be honest with you. Wait up! I gotta fix it, you guys. Wait up! Kids don't want other kids to wait. They want them to wait up. Would you wait up? See, now he's going to go into a routine about how kids say up all the time and parents stay down. I've heard this before. You're going to love it. Because when you're little, your whole life is up. You want to grow up, everything is up. Wait up, hold up, shut up. Mom, I'll clean up. Just let me stay up. See, he points out things that are true when you think about them. And that is really the genius of Seinfeld. When you're a parent, it's just the opposite. Everything is down. Just calm down, slow down, sit down, come down here, put that down, and keep it down in there. You're grounded. See, that's a good one. That's a joke ender. That's how you know it's a punchline. Because it's so deep in the ground, there's nowhere else to go. He's heightening the joke. You see what I'm saying, kids? I hope you really understand Seinfeld now, and as you get older, you start to look at his shows and his material. So the day finally came. I finally convinced my parents to buy me an official Superman Halloween store costume. I was physically ready. I was mentally prepared. And I absolutely believed when I put on this costume that I would look exactly like Superman. I had come to know... let me do this again. Let's take two. I was physically ready, I was mentally prepared, and I absolutely believed when I put this costume on that I would look exactly like the Superman I had come to know on television and in the movies. See, now he's dreaming of himself looking exactly like Superman. See, he's puffing out his chest there just like that. Unfortunately, these costumes are not exactly the super fit that you are hoping for. Pause for laughter. You look more like you're wearing Superman's pajamas. It's all loose and flowy. The neckline comes down to about your stomach. You got that flimsy little ribbon string in the back holding it all together. See, look, he's too small for it. And Superman's saying, what do you want from me, kid? I'm just trying to make a buck. You know the guys who invented Superman, I guess they got bought out and they didn't receive a dime afterwards. Plus, my mother makes me wear my winter coat over the costume anyway. That's a real buzzkill. The mom, this is Mama Seinfeld here. And then, although not really similar to the woman that would appear in the Seinfeld TV show. It's an interesting thing to think about when you're older. Play this video maybe 15 years from now. But there he is, wearing his winter coat there. I don't recall Superman wearing a jacket. I read every comic book. I do not remember him ever once flying with a coat on. Not like the one I had, that cheap corduroy, the phony furs. You know, everyone can relate to this because when they were kids, they had similar jackets. So they're laughing not necessarily because it's funny, but because they remember going through a similar thing. So you go out anyway, and the mask keeps breaking. The rubber band keeps getting shorter because you're trying to keep retying it. It's getting tighter and tighter on your face. Now you can't even see. See, he's having difficulties with the mask here. See, it's on his face, and this girl's like, oh, what's up with this guy? You're trying to breathe through the little hole. It gets all sweaty. Whoosh, whoosh. See, he's breathing heavy with the mask on because it's cutting off. The mask starts slicing into your eyeballs. I can't see. I can't breathe, but let's keep going. We gotta get the candy. And he'll lean in. He'll have a suit on. He'll put his hands on his hips. He'll look out into the audience, and people will laugh, and some people might even applaud. About half an hour into trick-or-treating, you take that mask off. Oh, the heck with it. See, there he is throwing the Superman mask off. Looks a lot like Patrick Warburton, actually. Very interesting. Bing bong. See, this is him going to the door now. Yeah, it's me. Give me the candy. I'm Superman. Look at the red pant legs. See, he's just like, he's given up, you see. It's the failure. Inadequacy is comedy, as they say. Year after year, I never gave up on trick-or-treating. But I remember those last few Halloweens. I was getting a little too old for it. I was just kind of going through the motions. Bing bong. Come on, lady. Let's go. Halloween, doorbells, candy. Let's pick it up in there. See, that's him being like an adult. He's like, let's get it over with. Let's just get the candy. Because the joy is gone, but he still wants the candy because capitalism is about greed. They come to the door. They always ask you the same question. And what are you supposed to be? And there's the old lady there trying to figure out what he is. And he says, this is a witty retort, I'm supposed to be done by now. You want to move it along with the Three Musketeers? Three Musketeers is a candy bar. I don't know if kids eat them anymore. A little antiquated. Nevertheless, that's what he means. See, he's pointing to the clock. He wants to go home and eat said candy. I got 18 houses on this block, sweetheart. You hit the bag, we hit the road. That's the way it works. See, he's pointing out as this is very surreal. We're entering a surreal territory here, which is a break for Seinfeld. He's usually a realism kind of guy. This is him pulling out a chart. There's a Halloween 3-step program. Step 1, see kids. Step 2, give candy. Step 3, good night. Trying to cut to the chase. Sometimes people give you the little white bag twisted on the top. You know that's gonna be some crummy candy. No official Halloween markings on it? I don't think so. Wait a second. What is this? The orange marshmallow shaped like a big peanut? You always know sometimes you get that bad candy. This is him inspecting it. He's all upset. Do me a favor. You keep that one. We've got all the doorstops we need already. Thank you very much. We're going for name candy only this year. Because sometimes they give you those off-brand candies. Some of these grandmothers. This is one of those old ladies who wasn't a grandmother. She's never had any kids, but they always wanted them. So even though they try to endear themselves to children, they really have no idea how to act. At the end of Halloween, I was able to fill a punch bowl full of candy. At the top of it would be curved. It was like a planet. See, this is him imagining it's like a planet. He's orbiting. He's going to land on the bowl of candy planet. And I would consume the entire thing that night. See, this is him being very, very excited about it, as we all are, certainly. The next morning, you wake up and feel fantastic. And that's when I realized, when you're a kid, you don't need a costume. You are Superman. Well, that was a moralistic ending there. There he is in his, I assume, pajamas there. And he doesn't need it. He's skewed. You can see he's a Mets fan and a New York Giants fan. And he said, no, I am Superman. Really not much of a story. Not much of a plot obstacle kind of thing. It sounds like he just recycled his old stand-up material to me. And look, there's the same picture of him. He's a real Superman. See? Isn't he proud of himself? Let's read a little bit about Jerry for those of you who need to learn. Jerry Seinfeld, the award-winning comedian, writer, and actor, starred for 9 years on Seinfeld, one of the most acclaimed sitcoms of all time. I haven't really heard of it either. The New York Times characterized his work as, quote, keenly observed, carefully timed, contemplative humor about life's minutiae, people's foibles, and mankind's quotidian movements of angst, which is exactly how I would describe this book. He is the author of a previous book for adults, Sign Language, a national bestseller, which was also, he just totally recycled his stand-up material. This is kind of a scam. You know what? I'm not going to read the end of this. I'm sorry I had to waste your time with that. I apologize. Got you all excited about Halloween. It's at the end of October. We have months and months and months to go if we're even allowed out of the house by then. Anyway, here's your bedtime lullaby. Two, three, four. Good night.
Guests of the RJ City Show, subscribe to his channel, follow him on social media, and buy his t-shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/RJ City.